You're listening to the Friends After 40 podcast, where every episode feels like a conversation on your couch with close friends. So grab your coffee or your cocktail and come hang out with us.
Hey friends, welcome back to the Friends After 40 podcast. Hope everybody's doing well.
Always good when there's a cocktail in my hand.
What are we drinking?
Okay.
Well, you made it, so
Yes, I did make it. So we are drinking mojitos. What we have here
Coconut
is
mojitos.
not the classic mojito, but a coconut mojito. And I just made it with light Bacardi, some coconut flavored rum. Of course, you have your mint and your lime juice. And
a little seltzer.
And some club soda. And then you lightly stir.
Mm.
It's very resort-like.
It's very resort-like.
Nicely done.
It's light. It's delicious.
I do.
It's refreshing.
Sipping on this does make me feel like I am away. It's because you have the mint
And the coconut, I think, helps
the coconut,
too, right?
the bubbly, makes it very refreshing. I mean, we're right now in the seasons. We're in spring.
So we're manifesting summer.
But we're manifesting summer.
I was going to say, I think we're putting it out there. We're like, let's go.
Let's go. We need the warm weather.
They can't come fast enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. We live in the northeast part of America, so
It's cold.
where it's cold. Not only that, but we live in also this little microclimate
Yeah.
that we're about 700, 750 feet above sea level, and on any given day, it's about 6 to 8 degrees colder, cooler than ground level. So
I love that you knew
How many
feet
feet?
we were above sea level.
Yes.
yes.
I love that you knew that. That's just something that
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me that to save my life,
You'd be like, can I phone a friend?
I would die.
Life would be over.
I'd be dead.
Yep.
You would have to phone a friend, and it would be
Yep.
James.
Yep.
Be like, hey, friend.
Well, now I know who to phone. 'Cause
Well,
even then, I didn't know who to phone, but now I know.
it is one of the pleasures of growing old. Like, I find myself just checking the weather app more and more. Like
Me
every
too.
day, probably 4 times a day. And then I check the forecast probably 12 times in
'Cause it's gonna change
a
from the last
rolling
time.
24-hour period. I feel like. And we didn't do that
No.
10 years ago.
So you're doing it just in case it changes, or because you forgot?
I have no idea why I'm doing it. I don't know. It's like the definition of insanity. Like you're waiting for something to change, and it's like Lisa's like, nope, it hasn't really budged.
Well, that
since
and
you
I
checked
kind of
it
forget
7 minutes ago.
what I just checked about an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the weather? Is it going to
But
rain
that's because
today?
you have to let go of something to remember something else. Yeah.
Well, I think I love that because you always say that, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
That's why I looked at him. I was like,
you run out of space.
Yeah, you have to forget something to remember something else.
Yeah.
I think that is really the topic of today's episode. It is the pleasant and unpleasant surprises of aging.
Yeah. Of aging.
And growing into your 40s. So mine is checking the weather umpteen times a day. What's yours, Lisa?
Me.
Yeah.
Well, Janine and I were talking about this.
The hair that
The hair?
mysteriously showed up on our toes.
On our toes. Yeah. It's like now we gotta shave our toes before we go get a pedicure.
It's crazy.
Now that's a lot of work. And then it's like, what the?
So another thing that wasn't there 10 years ago?
No,
Not that I
wasn't
noticed.
there.
Hairy toes?
No,
Hairy
not
toe-
to
I mean,
this
I think you
degree.
would have noticed if I had hairy toes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's weird. It's
Could
a
have been a deal
weird
breaker.
thing.
I know, right? I could have been like, nope, Lisa got hairy toes.
Yeah.
I'm marrying that chick.
yeah. I mean, look, I did have to stop dating someone who sweat profusely from her armpits. So
Yeah.
that's a very realistic thing.
So it's not a service that they provide when you're getting a pedicure, shaving the hair off your toes?
You know what? It should be if it isn't. Because I think more and more people are, unless it's just me and Janine.
Yeah.
So did you just,
Just getting
did you
that-
I
just
don't think
wake
so.
up one morning and it's like, this hair
I didn't
on
notice
my
it at
toe.
home. So I was getting a pedicure, and I'm fortunate enough that I go to the same person. I've been seeing her for a few years now, and she's also in her early 40s. And one day, because normally I just get in her chair and I don't pay attention. I'm like this. I looked down, I was like, where did that hair come from?
And then it's like
so
a
I
long
said
hair.
it to her. I was like, did you did you see the hair? That wasn't there. And she laughed. She said, I have it too.
Wait, but was she being polite, like it's always been there, or did she just say like, oh, it happened?
I know for a fact
she was
it
working for
has
a
not.
tip.
No. That I know for a fact that hair has not always been there. Okay, but I don't know when it showed up. That was the thing, right? I looked down. I'm in the chair, and I'm like, what is going on here? And to your point, I'm like, how do I get rid of this? Am I supposed to? Is this like another thing that I now have to shave? Like what is
Or pay
this?
extra for?
Or pay extra? Is there now a service at the salon where they wax your toes?
Did you feel judged?
No, she didn't make me feel judged at all. She said, she was like, I have it too.
I mean, they stare at feet all day. There's
Right.
there's absolutely no judging that could come from those people.
You think so? Right?
Well, she
Until
was
you walk
she was
out.
very nice
Until
about
you-
it.
leave that in front of your face.
It's like, did you see his toes?
Yeah.
So much hair.
She was really nice about it, but it's like
Yeah.
unnecessary. So unnecessary.
Yeah. No, I get it. When I first noticed, I was like, "What is happening?" And then
And
it's not
why?
even it's not even like it's
Why?
not even white hair. No. I could understand if it was like white hair. Like, I'm
Blend
getting
into the
old.
background. No, it's fresh.
No, it's
dark
freshly
colored
grown hair.
hair.
Like they were just like, today you're gonna have some hair on your toes.
Yeah.
for all the world to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mine was that hair stopped growing on my head. No, but I think as I age, it's so funny because we hear a lot of comedians make this joke too. It's things start hurting for no particular reason.
Give me an example.
Getting out of bed and
Standing up from your chair.
getting out
Doing
of
that.
bed.
Don't do that too hard.
Yep, don't
and
get upset. at
Raising
me.
your hand.
Like when you wake up and you get out of bed and for some reason you have a limp. Some reason like all of a sudden my ankle just gives out like like it quit. It said I'm done. Nope.
Not today.
I wasn't ready to get up. Yeah. So that's a thing. That's a thing, by the way.
It is.
Missing one step.
Yeah.
I
Oh
did
my
that
gosh.
the one step.
Missed one step and all of a sudden I hurt my back. Like how did I hurt my
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
I remember waking up and then all of a sudden I had this insane pain in my back. Like what did I do? What happened? I
slept
didn't do
wrong.
anything.
You got up.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. I guess after 40, sleeping wrong is a thing. I remember when you were a kid, you could sleep in any direction,
Any
twisted
crazy
in a
position.
knot, and you fine. Now, forget about it. I gotta have pillows under my knees.
Oh,
I
here's
gotta have
1,000 pillows.
Yeah, I mean, I got to adjust right now. I feel like I was told don't sit on your pockets. So we have a friend that tells us who teaches yoga and Pilates. And when I talked about my back issues, she was like, you're sitting on your pockets. And I'm correcting myself. These chairs are too comfortable not to want to sit on your pockets. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if you don't have any pockets? But that was just me being an ass. I understand what she's trying to say.
So don't sit on your ass.
your ass pockets.
Your ass
Your
pockets.
So what else are you pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised about
Pleasantly surprised about how young I still feel
mentally?
mentally.
Okay.
I have the aches and the pains and the joint stiffness in the morning when I get out of bed and all of that stuff. But I still feel like I have a lot of life to live. Like there's so many things I'm going to do. And I didn't expect that. I don't know. I just thought when you get old, things just kind of stop. Like you kind of stop wanting to do new things. You just kind of repeat the stuff you've always done. That's what I thought it was.
I don't feel old.
I don't feel old at all. And it's funny because when I talk to my father, you guys know he just turned 80 last month and he feels the same way. Like to hear someone 80 years old say that. And I was like, okay, well,
Well, that's where you get it from.
I was wrong about what aging was going to look like.
Well, I
right?
think when we were growing up, we saw aging totally different. I mean, we
sure.
grew up, like, let's just say, like the Golden Girls. And they were probably our age.
Yeah.
But they looked old as shit.
Yep.
And so we thought that's what old was supposed to look like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now here we are in
Yeah,
our 40s.
yeah.
For me, almost pushing 50.
Yep. Well, all
And-
of us are closer to 50.
Well, I'm
Then we
probably
are
the closest
40.
one.
Plot twist.
Looking back, and it's like, oh shit, that's what old is. But now I'm like, I don't look anything like a Golden Girl. I mean, shit, I don't think I do.
You don't.
Not at all, baby.
At least, and in my mind, I'm
You for
still,
sure don't
I'm
feel
still
it,
like
right?
30. Yes, but a mature 30.
A mature 30.
I like that.
Well, we
I
heard
like it
someone say
too.
yesterday it's fly 40s. And basically what we were talking about is that we're not our parents' 40-year-olds. Also, he made mention to like the hip hop era, how we were in the beginning of the hip hop era. So we're like hip hop 40s.
Yeah, it's true.
And hip hop has influenced everything from the music we listen to the clothes that we wear, which gives us still this essence of
Feeling young.
Yeah. When we listen to music in the car and then our kids are also singing along, and it's like, how do you know this song? Or it's something that's new and relevant and we're singing it together, which I didn't have that with my parents.
Yeah.
I mean, I like their music, but it wasn't, their music isn't something that inspired everything from the way I talk, the way I dress.
Yeah, no, it's true. When he said that, I connected with that because growing up in the Bronx, being a real, like I loved hip hop, still do. Even the way I still dress now, I love my hoop earrings, and I attribute that to being a New Yorker, like a city girl.
Pick your feet up so we can see your kicks.
Yep, my
your
that my
threes.
husband bought that I love, and I just said to him, I was like, these things are so comfortable. But like all of that is, I think, why I love denim, why I love certain things. I really do think it's from the culture. It's from growing up in an urban environment. It is a lot of that hip hop music and cultural experience I think that we got. When we were kids, I didn't see it like that. But as an adult, I'm like, but this is me. I love my Yankees hat. I love, I love all these things, but it is tied back to that culture. Like we were kids on the subway with the graffiti. I mean, we don't have that anymore, but I can't let it go. There's like this part of me that's like, I gravitate to that a lot.
Right, which makes us in our minds feel young. Our bodies.
I am young.
Well, all right. Yeah, young is
State of mind. It's a state of mind.
But in our minds we feel young, but in our bodies sometimes say otherwise. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes say otherwise. So I think in that sense, and not just us and above our 40s, I think the folks in their 40s now all have that same mindset of not so much feeling old or as old as they felt their parents were when their parents were in their 40s.
Yeah. I could see that. And I see that even in our friend group. Like I look at how people dress. I mean, there are some older tendencies happening, like your NPR radio. But there are some things that happen. Right. But I think for the most part, I'd still see like there is this youthfulness still in all of us. And I don't think it's us trying. It's not like, oh, I'm like, it's still very natural. You can tell it's how you feel and it comes out in how you choose to dress and how you carry yourself every day. And I mean, even still the music we listen to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I laugh. I also laugh because like we've had a conversation with my father, who is 80, about Drake.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy. But then I had to remember, I'm like, but that's really us too. Yeah, my father's older, but we're older also. And for us to still be listening to Drake, I mean, for him to still be listening to Drake, I'm like, what is this? But it ties into how we all feel. That's how he feels. So it's kind of like a little bit bugged out to me to think that at 80, am I still going to feel like this?
Probably.
My mom,
you know?
My mom in her 70s identified with Nicki Minaj. Like she was like,
Is that her spirit animal?
like it was her spirit
That's
animal.
her spirit animal. Okay.
And I was like, you are 70 years old.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as human race, getting older, like we're living longer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I mean that aspect of it probably plays a huge role into it.
Yeah.
Living longer. So
Yeah.
I mean, we are midlife, but our midlife, we still have a lot more life to live.
Yep.
God willing, as long as we stay healthy.
I mean, age really is a number. I mean, we've all heard that phrase before, but I feel like at this point in life, we live it. We live that. Like age, how many times have you passed the mirror and been like, Psh, whatever your age is at that moment, like where is it? It's not here.
It's in my beard.
It's on my hairy toes.
It's in my herniated disc.
That's
you still
that's
look
from way
good.
too much pickleball.
You still look good.
Let's talk about the after 40, the pickleball athletes.
Yeah. Do you
So
know that
it-
they're all getting hurt?
So for anyone for anyone looking for a very good career path going forward, if you want to be an osteo, be an osteo and go to Florida, because that is going to be the place where everybody gets injured, and you will make a killing in private practice. So you heard it here first. But yeah, so the unpleasant part about this age, there's a whole group of us, myself included, who took probably self-care for granted. You're working too hard. You're always worrying about everything other than your health, and not exercising right, and maybe not eating right. And I feel like I have a balance of things, but I didn't work out. I do, even now, loosely, just being honest, that snuck up on me, because as an athlete in high school and even a little bit in college, I kind of stopped like taking care of myself. But my mind is still like, if you played basketball and then you grab a basketball 20 years later, you feel like you can grab a basketball as if it was 20 years ago. And that's how I
We
felt.
were present for one of those games.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, yes.
Yep,
So
yep.
I got hurt at that game too. so I picked up. So I played at a racquetball club down in Soho with a couple executives at work, and sure enough, I was like, squash is great, because I played handball growing up as a kid in the Bronx. So a hand to a ball, and now you gave me a racket with a little ball to hit. So it was awesome. So fast forward now 25 years later, and then a pickleball comes up for us. That's been around forever too, but start to play pickleball, really fun at it. It actually takes a lot more like what they call juking and like fast, quick movements,
Agility.
speedy movements, quick off the line type of jerk reactions. And that jacked me up. And then I ended up with a herniated disc. And I've watched other people go down, like Achilles. All these people
But
were
remember
just
when
getting
it was
hurt.
when it was it your knee? When I had to pick you up, you couldn't even drive when you first started.
Well, that first time was my calf muscle,
your
because I
calf.
wasn't stretching.
Okay.
And that was the quick off the line movements. I wasn't stretching. So I started stretching, and I got like a nice warmer for my calf and everything.
It's because you were playing pickleball like you were 25
Yeah.
You're damn right I was.
instead of
I still play it that way.
your age. Because if we go play pickleball together, my motions is going to be like this.
It's gonna be slow.
No, and here's the thing. There's no such thing in that game. Like, you just can't play at a slow pace. It just doesn't really exist. Right?
Yeah.
It's actually a lot more fast moving than many folks may think.
I
So
think
that was my story, and that's my plea to everyone to take care of yourself, because in this age group right now, in this time, your body is actually going to start changing much quicker than your mind is if you're not taking care of yourself.
I mean, we all have kids, right? Like, how many times have we told our young kids who feel nothing, like, you're going to feel it, that you're doing damage now, you're going to feel it later. And so it's come to fruition.
That was the unpleasant surprise of
Yeah.
this.
But you know what else I think is a pleasant surprise? I think all of us are experiencing. I mean, look at us. You know, we started this podcast, like starting new things at our age, being excited about it. I know I didn't see that. And like, even for me personally, like looking into a second career. Mm-hmm. If you would have asked me that when I was 23, 24, I didn't think people did that. I thought you went into a career and that's what you
And
did
it was
until
life.
you're
Yeah.
retired. Yeah. Whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
You just stuck it out, because that's what adulting is. And so now it's like, it doesn't have to be that. And like, look at us sitting here doing this. And I mean, regardless of where it goes, like, we committed to it. It's new and we're learning. Like, there's a learning curve.
Learning curve. I think we've even lost an episode because
Yeah. Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
yes.
But I mean, look, we're here, and yeah, we're doing it. But it's just like, I love that though. And that's has been a pleasant surprise to me. It's like the opportunity to keep learning things, you know. I know you said you want to learn how to play piano. I said the same thing too. I don't know if that's going to go well or not.
For me?
For either one of us. I mean, I think we'll try and we'll let our spouses
like we don't
tell
have
us
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we don't have time.
Yeah, all of that. But
My first lesson, they told me I was a natural,
did they?
and then I gave up. There was no time.
Oh,
There was
Is
no
that what
time.
they told you? Or is that what you heard? I mean, I'm just asking.
that's a great question.
I mean,
They really told him, you need to play
So-
more naturals.
I mean,
for our scholars out there, my wife is referring to the left-hand brain, the left-hand column case study out of HBR. For everyone else, it is a little bit of a dig. Her spouse. No, that is what I was told. She was like, "You're a natural."
How
at
old
this."
were you? 15?
15. I was like, this was living in Hamilton. It was like 12 years
15
ago.
years ago.
It was like 15 years ago. Before I broke my pinky.
there you go.
Because
Yeah.
things
Before you
things
broke your
change.
pinky.
Before I broke the pinky.
Yeah.
Playing what? What were you playing?
Trying to catch a very fast-moving football
Was
in my friend's
Was it
backyard.
going that fast?
It was moving pretty quickly. One of those young bucks, he hurled that thing at me. And I was there for it.
But you're like
Were you?
injury prone,
I'm a little
Is
bit.
he?
But I'm not like
Mr.
clumsy.
Glass.
No.
I'm not clumsy injury prone. Like I'm athletic, damn it.
I'm just saying, you always
I'm
get
just
hurt.
not fit.
Is that
No,
what
I
it
don't.
is?
I don't want to say that.
That injury of catching the football had to do with the grass, not with me. I stepped down and there was a dip in the grass.
Grass messed up your.
I'm not
hand.
taking any
You're lucky you
accountability for any of
that
that.
was the only injury. You could have messed up your knee
Yeah.
Yeah.
and your back.
And your back, your ankle.
It could have just been down.
Now I'm
Right?
a little bit like Mr. Glass with a bad back. So
Anyway.
pleasant and unpleasant. You know what's pleasant? Pickleball is pleasant. You know what's unpleasant? Golf.
Is it
So-
the pace?
I don't know. I
What was
think
that?
that's
Is it the
boring.
pace?
No, it's the
hard.
It's hard.
Oh.
It's the awkwardness of a swing. It's the my back problems. It's all that stuff.
why do you do
It's-
it?
It's watching your friends hit the ball and you can't. There's emotional things.
Oh, it's
So
emotional now?
We're going tomorrow, right?
We're
We're going tomorrow night.
But why?
I am.
you just
I'm
said
absolutely dreading it.
Are you, then why are you doing it?
Yeah, why am I doing it?
FOMO.
Because your friends are doing it. You want to go play
Yeah,
too?
damn it, I'm gonna be left out.
Oh boy.
Is that a thing?
The ego
Feeling
in me
left
won't
out
let it
after
down.
40?
So I will be swinging
Air bowl?
my heart
Is
out
that
tomorrow.
What do you call it? An air bowl? What do you call that?
a whiff. You just whiff.
What
A
is it called?
mulligan?
No, that's when you get a second shot. When you swing and a miss, it's
Yeah.
called strike one.
No, that's baseball. That's baseball. What do you call it in golf when you try to hit the ball and,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
just
still
hear the
there?
air.
And it's just,
I am
and it's
still learning.
You whiffed. You whiffed.
See,
It's
look,
a
he's
major
still learning
whiff.
too.
I thought a whiff was a fart.
No, that's when you smell it.
No,
you
that's
get
when you
whipped.
smell it. You got a whiff of it.
Oh, it's the sound of a fart. Whiff.
It's that.
But I guess whiff. I don't know.
But other than that, other pleasant things have been. I'm slowly starting to master the art of not caring about things
Yes.
as much as I did. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore.
Yes.
And even some large stuff, I kind of let here you go. Just kind of let that
Let it go.
fade away a little
Yep.
bit. You have to pick and choose. I'll give you an example. Like not so much worry. Like I bought a used car. Well, I bought my car off of me, I guess, off of a lease. I don't know if that really counts as a used car. But usually I used to flip cars over every time
Yeah.
and just get the nicest, newest, have to. And now like I'm kind of okay
Yeah.
with my current situation on the vehicles. So my wife looks at me.
She said, You guys know I love Peloton. There's an instructor that I love to take. And she always says, and I'm not saying she came up with this quote, but she starts every class with, when we're stretching, she's like, you got to be like Elsa and let it go.
Who's Elsa?
From
Frozen.
Oh my God.
But
We
it's
don't
true.
have
Oh,
little
the
ones.
children movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
that's what James said, like practicing to let things go. And I feel like there's like a culmination of things that happen as you get older. I think one is like more self-confidence. You have a better sense of who you are. And so it makes it easier to let things go and to not sweat the small stuff because you're kind of like, I really don't even care if you are judging me right now. Whereas when I was even 30, I don't know if I could really say that and believe even myself saying that.
Yeah.
Like there was still a part of me like, but I kind of do care. And the why behind it,
Because you want to be accepted.
all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could go down that rabbit hole. But today, I'm not saying 100% like I don't care. I just don't sweat anything. I absolutely do because I do care about stuff. But I think I've gotten a lot better with discerning. Like this is worth putting the time and caring about, regardless of size. Whereas over here, I'm good.
I'm okay with that.
Even if you don't like me or judging me, even if there's something negative going, I'm okay. I'm okay with it, and I love that. God, it takes so much stress. It does, because all I did was worry.
Yeah,
I mean, I
when
still worry, but
when you figure
better.
out how to worry less about the things that are outside of your control,
yeah,
then you free up so much space in your mental. Like you free up, you gain so much freedom. I mean, it's easier said than done to just say that's outside of my control, so I'm not going to worry about it. But when you get to a place where you're doing it more often,
it becomes easier.
it becomes a lot easier, a lot less stressful in life. Like just like I know what, I can't control that, so I'm no longer going to focus any more mental capacity on that. And then you just
I mean, a lot of it is very deep rooted things in your life where you grew up and you had to get validation from your parents. It started there. Then it became if you weren't validated there, you were validated by friends, or you weren't validated by friends. You were validated by teachers, or you weren't. So there was this constant sense of needing to be validated by someone externally, where you can't get comfortable with who you are, and because everything is judged. You think you are who you are based on what people tell you that you are.
right.
And so you get it's just such deep rooted that it lives with you and rests with you for a long, long time.
Yep.
And then add that your socioeconomic status growing up. You were a have or you were a have not. I think we all can
Most
safely
of
say we were kind of have
have-nots.
nots
Yes.
to a large
was
extent.
a have not.
So there's a lot of deep rooted things in all of that. So overcoming that over time, it's more than a mental. I mean, luckily we're at a position in life where your economic status allows you to say, I really don't give two craps about that.
Yeah.
So luckily we're kind of stumbled into that and hard worked our way into it, but it's still not easy even today. Because I always say, I never knew how broke I was until I got a good job, started making decent money, and then you can afford some nice things, and it's like, well, I can't afford those nicer things. So it's kind of that slippery slope. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
How about you, Lee?
I guess now, being older, it is easier for me because I was always like, oh my God, what are people going to think about me? I didn't graduate college, so that's always going to lay on me. But moving here, I noticed that there is a status thing, and it was very difficult for me to make friends because I was always worried that people were going to judge me because I wasn't as smart, or I wasn't as thin, or I wasn't as pretty. I was like, what do I have in common with these people? But then once I started having conversations, I noticed I was like, wait, they're fucking human. I'm like, we have that in common. So, and then I'm just like, well, you know what? They don't pay my bills. They don't live in my house. Why do I care? So it did take a lot for me personally to come to that and realize that, you know what? I'm okay with them not liking me. And if they don't like me, they don't know what they're missing out on because I'm fucking cool.
Tell 'em,
and
baby.
I have to keep telling myself that and just validating myself.
So you believe it.
Right.
And then it's just like, you know what? I don't need that in my life. If I have to keep like, oh my God, look at me, like me, I can't. That's too much work. Way too much work. I don't want to do it.
I don't think that feeling is original to just you. I feel like there are so many people who feel like that. And then so many people that have trouble making friends after 40 because of all of those things that you've explained. I mean, I go into situations, whether it's a new job or even getting introduced to a new social group, a social setting. And I feel like I need to be on. I feel like I need to put out the best, I guess, version of me, but according to them. And that's something that I deal with. I am trying to get to a place where I'm like, this is me, take it or leave it.
Right.
And if I'm not for you, then I'm just not for you.
Right.
And I am gradually getting there, but it's not something that happens overnight. And
Exactly.
it's not
Yep.
so it's, and I don't want to say it's something that you're like unhappy with yourself or you're not comfortable with the person that you are. I guess it's just feeling like, again, fitting in, being that person that people can feel comfortable around. But why am I so focused or concerned on
About what
making
you feel
other
comfortable,
people
right?
feel comfortable to make myself feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
So, and I think this is a challenge that so many people have to deal with, especially when it's time to try and meet people and make new friends after 40, because and I love our show and I love the title of our show because it resonates with me and I think it will resonate with so many people. But when you're a kid, you make friends at the park, you make friends at school, you make friends at college, you make friends at the bar. When you're over 40, those situations
slowing
and
down.
instances don't happen
Right.
as often. So it's more of a, so when you are put into those spaces, you're like, I'm trying to, I guess, impress.
Because you want people to like you.
But at the same time, it's like, at what end? You know?
Can I talk about the other side of that though? And it's something we spoke about in another episode. It's that whole new friend piece. So I think when you get into this age and now you're adding in, I have a better and clearer sense of who I am, which usually means a little bit more self-confidence and this ability to not sweat the small things. It also helps in those social settings because you can take it or leave it. You can absolutely go in and I always tell you guys, I'm a very anxious person. So new things always make me anxious. Doesn't matter what it is, but it's a thing I've learned to live with. But in a social setting, and I realize I can turn it on or off. It is based on how I feel in the moment. And I am an introverted extrovert or the other way around. I am both and can be both. Because I think people will often say to me, no, you seem quiet. No, you're not quiet. And it's because they see both sides, right? Something else I had to learn about myself. Like I would never describe myself that way years ago. But now I understand I am like that. I have my moments and I'm okay with that. But I also go into those social settings that are with newer people. I don't expect anything. I'm not looking for a new friend. I'm going to go in. I'm going to be pleasant. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do my best to quiet the anxiety that I feel, right? And maybe have a drink or whatever. And I'm going to do my best to leave it at that and not look for more. Because the truth is, my glass is pretty full.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, and I think I'm fortunate in saying that. I don't know how common that is.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm not looking for more is because I have it. Like I have my people. So it makes it easier to go into certain settings. I don't want to say low expectations. I don't really have them. If I come out of it and there's someone like, oh my gosh, what a cool person. I was talking to so-and-so. That's great. That's a plus. I don't look for it anymore, really. I really don't.
So we're saying it's something that you learned about yourself.
Yeah.
As you were.
Yeah. And it's a good
Moving
thing for
through
me.
your 40s.
I'm happy because it helps with that social anxiety. I think part of what goes into that is the newness of it, is being uncertain about who you are and how you will be received. How am I supposed to behave here? How do I act? When I'm talking to so-and-so, do I need to be on? It's like all these things that can go into it that make the situation, I think, more stressful than it needs to be. But I think as you get older, at least what I'm hearing like everyone here kind of say, it's like you do kind of get to a point where you can start to let some of that go. But I do think for us, we are very fortunate because we have each other, we have other friends, we have other people. So it kind of helps because you don't necessarily need more.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I picked up on the fact that no one else actually cares.
That too.
Right? So
It's just you.
Like, it's just me. So no one cares if my driveway has X in it. No one cares if I did X, Y, Z in my life or in my career or succeeded. Deep friends care, but the majority at large, like, what I'm saying is, don't overthink it because people don't care that much.
I think that us get into these ripe old ages over 40 is where we are coming to those conclusions, where we are coming to those realizations that it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
There are more
Yeah.
important things.
There are more important things. So that's what I would say.
Why do you think you couldn't come to that realization 20 years ago?
I just wasn't mature enough. I just wasn't. And if you asked me then, I'd tell you I was extremely mature. But it's funny as you age and you become wiser, the things that you actually realize. And I just wasn't mature enough to know or understand. And I had very low self-awareness at that age of what I was, where I was going to be, what my potential would be. I mean, I always knew I wanted more, but at the same time, it was, I just didn't have an idea
Of what it looked like.
of what it would look like.
Yeah.
Maybe another pleasant to bring it up a little bit. Another pleasant surprise is how much I don't mind of going to like planned activities. No, I'm not talking about like 5 p.m. early bird shuffleboard. Well, there is the senior hour that we love to go to.
Oh, yeah, I love senior
which we
hour.
called it senior hour because we
Well,
just
for dinner?
Yeah.
for
Oh
dinners
Oh my
and
God.
stuff.
Can
But
we please? I love to
but-
eat.
Early, right?
An early
Okay.
things like when Cinco de Mayo tickets go on sale for Chapala, like sign me up. Let's go.
They have a good mariachi band on Cinco de Mayo,
Yes.
and they play all the songs.
Do they?
Yeah, you've been there.
I don't remember.
We did dinner there last time. Remember, I got that big bowl of like
With all the seafood.
Yeah, but I
flaming
don't re-
seafood in it.
Yes. I just don't remember the music, but
Yeah.
I love it there. It's
Yeah.
great.
Well, we had the mariachi band
I love
come
a
like
good,
sing to us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
did.
older people are onto something. They are. Planned activities, eating dinner earlier. You digest better.
Yep. Day drinking.
Day drinking.
Oh man.
I think it's the secret that they kept from us.
Yes. We thought it was just old people stuff. But they were just wiser.
They were like, ha ha ha, watch them be hungover tomorrow.
Stupid young people. Young and dumb. And now look at us embracing it, all of it.
We
We're
caught
like,
on.
wait, what time is dinner? 7:30.
We're like, ooh, no, nobody eats at 7:30.
I need to digest by 7:30.
Yeah.
Because your bedtime's at 9:30. So
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that can't happen that late.
It's like 7:30 is a little late. That's like an after dinner drink time.
So that again, it's kind
That's
of
like a warm glass of milk getting ready for bed.
is it like wear the pajamas that tuck into your socks and wear a hoodie to bed?
Yes.
Oh, we know somebody like
We
that.
know somebody that does that. A good friend of ours. Does
Like I
that.
need to be winding things down for the evening.
He said it. He said it in a text the other night. He was like, "Nope, can't do it that late." He's like, "That is when I'm what?
He said I'm in my pajamas.
I'm in my pajamas." Like,
Drinking a warm glass of milk. I
yes,
think.
that's
There you
exactly what he
go.
said. Drinking a warm glass of milk.
Warm glass of milk.
And you know what? I respect that.
That had
right?
me rolling when he said that.
But it's true. That's the thing. That he was being honest.
Yeah.
Yes, he
wasn't he?
was.
Like that's real life for him.
I'm-
And I
but a warm
respect it.
glass of milk.
That was pretty
I
funny.
warm glass of milk?
maybe he was. No, I mean I was just joking about a warm glass of milk. Like, I can't
No,
even
but
drink
he
milk.
really drinks a
No,
warm glass
I
of
believe
milk,
he
right?
really drinks a warm glass of milk.
Whatever does it.
Way too funny. Way too funny.
But yeah, so basically the point is things have to wind down earlier.
Yeah,
At least
at a
during the
certain
week.
time.
Yeah.
At
We're
least
all
during the
like-
week, girl. On the weekends too.
On the weekends too, but we have a little bit more flexibility. I don't like to eat late though.
No.
That's kind of like it's becoming more and more of like a hard no.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that.
I remember when you guys first moved here and you were like, "Oh, dinner at 7:30," and I was like, "Why do they eat so late? Oh my God.
Because why
Like,
were we?
why?
Work. I had to
Oh,
commute.
work. Yeah,
You had
yeah,
to commute.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
I'm like, I can't eat that.
yeah.
Right.
But when he didn't go into the office and you would work from home, we were eating dinner at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early. I never thought I'd be eating dinner at 5:30.
I would
And
call my
loving
mom
it.
and she would be cooking and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, go making dinner. I'm like, Mom, it's like 12:30.
Yeah,
She's like, yeah.
yeah,
So it can be ready.
yeah. They're
I'm
on to
like-
something. We need to listen to these people, okay? They are on to something.
Yeah.
You're making it sound geriatric now.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What?
They're wiser than
That's
we
how
are.
they're all living
okay?
longer.
That's right. So,
Eating dinner at 2.
Hey, does that mean you go to bed at 4:30?
Yep. And I'm up at freaking 3:30 in the morning. Getting my day.
Exactly. All right, gang. Well, that was fun. So, again, there's some pleasant and unpleasant surprises about growing into your 40s, but I'm all here for it, and I'm glad to be going through it with you guys. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.